Hey guys, I'm just cleaning the stove here. One of my duties in the house is the stove. Of course, I do have the trash as well. That's the man's job. The trash is always the man's job. And the stove, because, men, we get the barbecue, well, we also get the stove. And I thought I'd make a quick video blog and talk to y'all a little bit about what's going on in the world. What's going on in our little community. And for those who watch my videos that aren't really familiar with the cop watching or First Amendment community on YouTube, because YouTube does have smaller communities. They really do. Whether you know it or not, there's little tight communities within YouTube. One of the communities is the cop watching First Amendment audit community. That's one of the communities of people that do similar or like videos. Sometimes we meet up. I need a paper towel. And what I wanted to ask though was, has anybody seen, I don't think California Citizens Watch has made a video in a couple of days. He did do the one video where he's on the radio listening to the police being dispatched to him. They were being called out for him, and he was listening to it. How cool is that? Listening to your own call. A fugitive listening to his own call. But then he made a video about some people getting arrested, and he was talking about, he's trying to defend his position on losing his marbles on SGV. Where he was saying, swing, batter, 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 swing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the video. Junkyard News has it. I have a snippet of it, but it's from Junkyard News channel. Go watch Junkyard News. You can search all of these channels in the search bar if you don't know who I'm talking about. But he was like, swing, bada, bada, swing. And it was funny because he was so freaking mad over people recording in front of his house. Now, I admit, it is a little odd to have people do that. You do get a little curious. You're like, who the fuck's out there? All the time we get people that stop here in front of our house for different reasons. Like they may have, sometimes people in our mobile home park will have a yard sale. And people will stop in front of my home just looking like to see where the yard sale is. What space number was it again, Or they'll stop for the neighbor. She's having her yard done. So yeah, sometimes you get a little curious, like, what the hell are they doing out there? But we always have to remember, and it always goes back to, you have a right to record in public, in a public space, things that you can see from that public space. So if somebody's recording your house, yeah, you might go out and ask, hey, what's up? What's going on? Maybe they say, well, we're doing a story on homes in this mobile home park. Oh, okay, would you like me to talk to you? No, I'm just recording. Okay, bye, CCW, California Citizens Watch, he got so freaking mad. He was wanting to punch people. He reached over F-Off Productions fence and destroyed slapped his phone out of his hand, then destroyed it by saying, well, I found it on the street. Yeah, after you slapped it out of his hand on his property. He reached over the fence and slapped it out of his hand. That's also on Junkyard News video. And then went to the street to retrieve it and say, well, I found it in the street. Yeah, after you slapped it out of his hand. Oops, move my phone here. I'm cleaning up here now. So, this thing is, here we go. Need some more wipes. I need the good Lysol wipes. Here we go. Oh, now it's coming clean. That's what we want to see, white. So, But I haven't seen a video from him for a couple days. So I'm thinking maybe the guy, he's a man on the run. Man on the run. He broke the camera, wanted a gun. Now he's man on the run. He didn't want a gun. I just made up a rhyming word. But it was funny because he was listening to the radio call when they said he wants a 242 everybody. He said, everybody's going to die. You don't die from a 242. You just get beat up. You die from a 187. And I never heard them say 187 on there. So he's right there. He's exaggerating. But a lot of cops are, you're going to hear the fan kick on, or the AC. My AC is kicking on. Not fan, it's central air. But a lot of cops are losing their minds right now and going crazy, man. And they're blaming COVID-19. Well, it's a coronavirus pandemic. We're all under stress. And, you know, we're the first responders, so we're under a lot of pressure. And, you know, well, I'm working too. I'm working with clients myself. And I'm not losing it. I'm able to keep my temper with people that I am working with in the public sector. You know, you don't see me disrespecting community residents and saying, well, it's just the coronavirus. It's affecting my brain. No, your brain was affected when you swore your oath and then didn't uphold it. So, yeah, there's a lot of that going on. And I've been thinking a little bit for a few days now, too. I made a video about Yucaipa PD, and they were just sitting there at the gas station. And I was serious that they should, if they're going to sit there, maybe 10 or 15 minutes and then go on. They sat there for over 24 minutes. That's not a reflection of Yucaipa Police Department as a whole, because there are a lot of good deputies in that department. There are a lot of good deputies, and a lot of them are really good about going through the neighborhoods and making sure everybody's safe. It's just, I was just criticizing those deputies because there's so many Facebook posts throughout the month of people in this town who wake up in the morning and their car's gone. Or they wake up in the morning and their trash can's gone. Which those things cost money. Or they wake up in the morning and their shed or garage has been broken into and rummaged through. You know, and so it kind of got me that if the cops are going to park somewhere and talk, that's fine. Maybe in a residential neighborhood where there's been a slew of burglaries or GTAs, not at a gas station on the boulevard where people can, where the actual criminals can go, oh, they're sitting right there talking. Shit, I'm going to work, man. Let's go down here. I know where the rich people live. Cops ain't going to do nothing. They're up here talking. You know, you see what I'm saying? No, go park. Say, you know what? There's been 6 burglaries in this neighborhood. Let's park on this street and talk. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the smartest person in the world. You know, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, so I might be wrong about saying that, but it has some weight, don't it? Doesn't that sound a little bit truthful, that maybe you should park where they have a slew of burglaries and talk, and when people see police cars, they go, oh shit, no, I'm out of here. I'm not going up that street. You see what I'm saying? Instead of parking on the boulevard at a gas station where everybody knows the cops get gas, they see you. And there were several cars that went by. How do we know one of those cars wasn't on their way to commit a burglary? Well, might as well. The cops are on the boulevard talking. So I hope I didn't offend any of the good deputies out of Yucaipa PD. But you do understand, right? Because you work in Yucaipa. if you're going to park and talk, do it in a neighborhood where there's burglaries occurring so they see your police car. You know, not on the boulevard where they go, oh shit, they're just talking. Let's go up to Mesa Grande, or let's go to Panorama and let's start stealing shit. Because that's where a lot of the burglaries are occurring. Because that's where the rich people live. So that's why I criticized him. And then, of course, after I caught him going through that guy's car, well, they weren't going through the whole thing. I saw the cop, the deputy, standing in the doorway of the driver's side door, and he was bent over looking for something. And then I parked, and I ran back down there, and he was still in the driver's side door. But as I got around the corner of Jack in the Box to record them, the deputy had moved around the car door, and the driver was standing there. He was talking to him. He asked the driver for something because the driver leaned into the car and came up with something. He probably saw me come by with my camera and said, oh shit, Jimmy's here, better chill. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I got my stove mostly clean, but now I have to clean right where the phone is at. So I got to move my phone. But you guys have talked long enough. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about what I've said. Community Leo Watch, watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers from coast to coast.